Hi guys, so I'm back here with my pedalboard build or assembly, and it's been a little while since I've made an update on this board here, but I've basically been awaiting some parts and some cables and some plugs, just anything like that to come in so I could actually start soldering my own cables, because I had some patch cables laying around the house, but they were all in different lengths and sizes, and I didn't feel like tying a lot of cables up and doing anything out of the usual. So I just decided to order some plugs and some quality cable and then just make them custom length so they would perfectly fit this pedal board. And it's also going to make this pedal board look a lot neater, and it's not going to be filled with cable mess and anything like that. It's just nice to have a tight and neat pedal board. So this is actually how far I've come. I've made 3 cables total as of now. I've made 2, which is just standard, your basic patch cables, and I bought these Hicon stick. I bought those from Thomann in Germany, and the reason I bought those is because these are called pancake flat plugs, so they don't really take up a lot of space like your normal angled plugs or straight plugs would do. And I'm kind of satisfied with the purchase of those, because it's just going to make it a lot easier to run the cables here. And as you can see, I have some of the cables running up along here and over to the switcher. So I'll probably just install some form of cable tie up here to make sure that this cable right here is actually going to be held in place so that it won't move. For the FS7 down here, I've actually also ordered a couple of stereo plugs, also Hicon stereo plugs, but these are generally a pain in the ass, sorry, but they are. They're really hard to solder, because you have 2 contacts here where you connect your inner wires, and then for your shield or ground you would have to solder it to the casing itself, and there's really not a lot of room for this. I've tried it and it didn't work. The ground wire kept on ripping apart or falling apart from the ground casing here that I was soldering it to, and I just couldn't make it stick. So I don't know why, if it's because of my solder or anything like that, or the tin that I use to solder. At least for now, I've bought a new pack of tin or solder, and I might try that out. But I also went to the local music store and bought some quality Neutrik TRS stereo plugs, and those were actually a lot better, because it had, same as this one, the 2 contacts up here, and then instead of just connecting it to the casing itself, it actually had a contact or solder point like these up here, just in the sleeve, and it was a little wider, but it still fit. So I went with those, and it only took me about 5 minutes total to solder that together. So I just have to plug this in here and just basically make it run to this socket here. And as you can see here, I've drilled out some holes for the cable. I just need to tidy it up so it doesn't look all that bad here. But that's work in progress, and I want to make sure that I could fit at least the FS7 output here and make it run underneath the board, and then drill a hole over here and just allow the plug to kind of go down there. So it's basically going to be a lot neater and tighter over here too, so that's just great. And the same for the left and right outputs here. I want that to go down because as you may know or remember, I actually have my DI box sitting right under here. So I want to have the cables run down here and just basically into the inputs here. So it's not that far, and I realized with the plugs that I've bought, they would actually be in the way of each other. So I went to my local music store again and bought a couple of, I believe they're called EBS patch cables, and those were flat too, so that was convenient, but they were only 10 centimeters, and the heads or plugs was just really small, so I suspect that I would have no problem there. So that's just going to make it a lot easier. So I from there I just need to solder a cable to go from the output of the OD3 here into the input on the GT1. So basically I don't need that much, at least not cable wise, to complete it and assemble it. The next thing that I'm waiting on is some 3M dual lock, double lock, whatever you call it, Velcro, so I can stick most of these pedals to the board here. And this time I'm choosing to go with the 3M dual lock because I've heard so much good about it, and I've seen a couple of videos showing that you basically can't rip those pedals off of your pedal board. So that's just great. I don't want to open my case one day and the pedals are just lying around everywhere with plugs disconnected or anything like that. I just basically want them to stick and to be fixed there. So yeah, I have to work my way around that. I might suspect that it will get a little hard here on the GT1 because I generally don't have any flat surfaces underneath here without any production holes, or due to the design on the back here. As you can see here, I only have small amounts here where I can attach it, so I might also have to remove the rubber feet here, but might be able to work. We'll just have to see about that. Yeah, for the GT, or sorry, the FS7 here, I might have to peel off the rubber sticks here, and then I should probably be able to fit some Velcro over here, the 3M dual lock. Otherwise I could try and use the bicycle chain method, if any of you know that, where you take a link from the bicycle chain and basically unscrew this screw here, or all the 4 screws, and insert a part of the bicycle chain here, a link from the bicycle chain, and then just screw it on, and then you have this kind of sticking out over here, so you can fix it with a couple of screws. So that could come in handy too, because the OD3 over here has the original rubber sticker with the specifications on the back here, and I don't really feel like ripping that off just to get this pedal fixed, but we'll have to see about that. At least I might try to go with the bicycle link method there. PolyTune should be easy to fix, and so should the instrument switcher, because it doesn't have any rubber feet on the bottom. So that's right about it. And yeah, so that's basically what I'm waiting for. Some dual lock Velcro and a couple of the other patch cables. So hopefully I should be able to get those by Monday, Tuesday this week. So I have to see about that. And when that's done, I'll basically just have to, as I said, install some of the cable ties and anything like that. Maybe use some zip ties to zip them together down here, so that there shouldn't be any room for the pedals or the plugs to get loose or fall out, disconnect, anything like that. And then of course I have to reinstall the power supply and the DI box. But other than that, this board is actually starting to look really good. It's kind of simple, but as many of you know, I have most of my sound coming from the GT1, so I don't really need a lot of extra pedals. And the OD3 here is actually just used to add a little boost or a little more grit. As you can see, the drive is actually turned down all the way. The tone is at 12 roughly, and the level is at 12. So I've kind of just gone for unity here, basically just using this with the main sounds that I use and just kicking it in to see, does it drop in volume, does it raise in volume, and just kind of dial it into that sweet spot where I don't hear any loss or rise in volume. So, and I've discovered that by turning the drive all the way to 0, it doesn't add that much overdrive, but it adds a little tiny bit of overdrive still, and that can be nice or come in handy if I feel at some point that I'm not getting that kind of punch that I like. I can always bend down and just either adjust the level here or just kick it on to get that bit of extra dirt. So that has been a nice sound that I've used with this before, so I'm kind of looking forward to see if I can get that kind of sound again. So that's just great. Yeah, and I'm kind of looking forward to completing this pedal board because we have a gig with my band here in June, so it would be nice to actually have this assembled and ready to take on the road here. And when I built this pedal board with my father, we actually had a case that it fits snugly into, so there should be no problem there too. So basically, it's also nice to think about that I can get by using this setup, having it in a relatively compact small suitcase or hard case, and basically just having my guitar on my back and nothing more. Don't have to drag heavy amplifiers or microphones, micing it all up and stuff like that. This is just going straight to the PA, and my personal taste or recommendation for this is that it sounds really good. I haven't got any complaints, and if you just basically take your time and get to know the unit, read the manual, and use a little bit of time to tweak your patches, tweak them to somewhere in the ballpark of where you like them, and then you can always take them to rehearsal and fine tweak them there, because it can sometimes be very hard to dial in the exact sound that you want by creating your patches at bedroom volumes or apartment volumes, because you have to pay attention to your neighbors and stuff like that. And so I just really like that. And I have a friend that has a dB meter that I actually use to make sure that all of my patches are the same level and the effects that I add to the chain is at the same level, so that if I go to add a compressor or a overdrive stomp, that the level isn't going to fly through the roof. And this is just something that I found to be a really good method to keep your sound consistent and keep your sound kind of clean and pure, also when you're using overdrive and distortion stomps, because you're not having a signal path or a sound where everything is kind of out of control. I've made sure beforehand that my bass reference level, which is the level of the preamp, it's going to be the same level that I reference my effects that I add on to. So that is just going to make it a lot easier. And therefore I can also, when I can use his dB meter, then I can just create some reference patches that I know I have made all of the effects in the GTA 1 level match, because I can just copy that patch and it should match the rest of the patches. So I have to do this one of these days too, to just make it easier for myself when I have to make new patches along the way. And yeah, I guess this is kind of it for now. I believe there's going to be 1 or 2 videos left in this little pedalboard update here, but yeah, this was kind of the new things that has happened over the past weeks. So as always, guys, feel free to ask any questions or comment, or yeah, like the video, share it, whatever. And if you have questions about how to connect your effects pedals, in which order you should place your effects pedals, power supplies, DI boxes, multi-effects, anything like that, just write me a comment or an email. I'll be happy to help you out. And it's nice to know that some people who watch this video series is actually finding it interesting, because yeah, I see this pedalboard as kind of a standard guitar pedalboard, and this is just featuring the pedals that I like. I know you see a lot of guys out there only swearing to or going to Strymon and basically boutique pedals like that, and that's fine, no hassle there. I'm not out for anyone, but it's all personal and preference. I like this, and some other guy might like something different, and that's just how it is. But if you're happy with the sound and you get a consistency in playing and in volumes and the sound you get out of it, then stick with it. Yeah. But I'll probably see you soon, guys. So have a good time until then, and I'll speak to you soon.